Okay, so this is an update because, I mean, things seem to be going really slow since I graduated, but I guess that's to be expected. Anyway, over the last, I think it was it 2 videos or 3 videos? I don't remember, but I explained that what it was. Oh, it was 3. What it was like to graduate and try to find a career and try to find a job. I mean, one of the same thing, but career. If you're talking about career, you're really talking about like what Jorge said. Sorry if I'm mentioning you, but optimizing your situation, trying to make sure that whatever is going to be the most propitious is you're making sure you're maximizing that. And then also the other thing too is you're sort of learning in a way where if there's something that you didn't notice before, you're making sure that you can try to incorporate that, if that makes any sense. For example, I didn't know that it was a good idea, and it was actually can make a big difference in your application or your the interview if you go ahead and send the person that interviewed you a thank you letter or just some kind of form of maybe something that you published or something that you're working on. It could be anything, so that it creates reciprocity for them to want to do something back for you because you're giving something to them. I mean, a basic thank you letter can make a difference, but see, I didn't know it was even worth. It didn't even come to mind because it doesn't even seem like it's worth pursuing. I mean, there's so many things that could come to mind when it comes to being political, but they just don't seem like they're useful. I mean, sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. Anyway, the point of this video is to tell you about the update as of May 10th, so 2017. So I've been basically working on just applications and basically reading finance books, and then also working on the FE. So that's taken a lot longer than I expected, because I'm not just trying to go. In some ways, I'm trying to pass the first time. I mean, who wouldn't want to pass the first time, right? But I'm also expecting not to pass the first time. So, but I'm doing whatever I can to make sure that I can pass the first time, given basically a limited amount of time. There's a few things about that which I didn't realize about a month or 2 ago, which is the fact that people. This is what it seems to me, because I'm noticing the availability dates of the exam, and it seems that there's always going to be something available within 2 days of when you're trying to schedule, and I think that's because people just. If they're not going to school, they're dropping, or they're delaying their scheduled exam to a later date. So they reschedule for a later date, and I think that's what's happening just all the time, because people underestimate how much time they need to study and stuff. Or underestimate how much time they need to study, and I don't know, maybe that's wrong, but based on about 3 different times, that's so far been the case on 3 different dates, and nobody's told me this, probably because most engineering students are are in that pool. I mean, I don't know. But in my case, I don't need to. There's no obligation, so technically I have infinite amount of time to do it, or before I can schedule for it and stuff like that. So I'm able to notice these patterns. Perhaps it's wrong though. So if some of you are, if you think I'm misinformed or didn't observe it right, then please let me know or comment below. But basically, the process that I took to get to that point, to where I feel I'm going to be ready for the FE, is I'm really close to finishing it. So what I first did was I made sure that, because I had unlimited time. And by the way, I made sure to incorporate this too while I was going to school. I said, get the FE review manual, and so I did that. I just read it, and I just thought, you know what, I'm not going to be taking the FE for a very long time, so I might as well read this thing. And some people will just not want to do that because they find it so boring and things that are irrelevant to what they're doing, and it is. I mean, I don't remember half the things I read, but it does make a difference overall. So what I decided to do was I read that whole thing. When I finished, I decided to take a practice exam to see, okay, where am I in the ballpark of taking the exam, and I'm gonna do this for real. So I timed myself, and I only got 69%. So and also I was listening to music. So given well, I don't even know if you want to call it a perfect environment because I was hearing noise all the time. I mean, a lot. So, and I was being interrupted a little bit. So it's not necessarily a perfect situation, but given somewhat of a perfect situation, or just a little bit below, I'm only getting 69%, and that's on a good day. So you might think, well, that's on a good day because there's no pressure to get through. But then again, I did time myself. So I thought, you know what, 69% is good enough. So I decided to buy the practice question by Lindbergh, and I'm going through every question. So I'm almost done, and I'm going to complete it today. And by the end of the day, I will schedule for a day to take the exam, and that will probably be in either 2 days from now or 3 days from now, or maybe 5 days. But I mean, hopefully it's not going to be. Hopefully I'm not wrong, but please let me know. Anyway, and then lastly, I've been working on some things related to, structural engineering concepts that I really want to present in YouTube because I was influenced by somebody. Don't know if I should mention their name, but sort of working on that and I didn't just go ahead and zoom in and go ahead and post something because I learned from about 3 years ago that that's not necessarily the way to do it. I mean, what I tried doing that when I was at Berkeley, UC Berkeley. What I did was I wanted to post things, explain topics that I was interested in, and then post a video related to that. I used a chalkboard. You could find a video from about 2 years ago when I was doing that. I got like no views. I got nothing from it almost, and it's completely understandable because people who are gonna watch like YouTube or something like that, they're very sensitive, and it doesn't even matter who you are. Like if you're an engineer or whatever, you're gonna be sensitive to the way things are presented, to what software you're using to present, to the different noises and everything like that. So, and it also compounds, it builds up when you release a YouTube video. At least it's my next hypothesis, because I mean, literally, I mean, if I watch a video that is going to, even if it's just remotely popular, like a 1,000 viewed video, they're using professional things like professional software, and they're making sure that things are step by step and laid out clean, making sure that then they've edited it to. So all that stuff takes time, and so what I've been doing is I've been practicing using something called it's like a Wacom, sort of like drawing projection, where you draw on a pad and it projects onto the screen immediately. And I've been practicing using that, and I haven't even recorded myself officially to do that. Now you might think, well, you're just wasting your time because you could just release a video right away. See, I learned from 3 years ago that that's not necessarily the way to do it. In fact, almost like, I mean, right after I noticed that didn't even gain popularity, I was almost completely. In fact, and then the fact that it took so much preparation to do that turned me off completely to doing YouTube videos. But Jorge gave me a new light to view it in, so he sort of influenced me to do it. So I'm like, okay, why not? Let's give this another try. I'll see what I can do now, because not only do I have probably more in-depth knowledge of some kind of specialty, but also I have the experience to determine what to make it better. So anyways, this is my ramble, and thank you very much for watching. It's not easy graduating. I mean, finding a job. I'm talking about not just like a $15 an hour position. I'm talking about the real career. It's not easy. That is going to, I don't know how long it's going to take. I might have to get my master's degree for that. So I'm just going to keep trying, and we'll just see what happens. Like I said, right now I'm slowly refining my application skills. I'm determining what is a better way to. It's like a systems approach, because you're determining a better way of handling the situation, and you're saying, okay, well, maybe this is better, and then I'll incorporate this thing and that thing, and after a while it all kind of accumulates. The only problem, though, and this is a problem that I'm figuring out, is if I'm 4 months out of school and out of a job since school, and I'm talking about a career or internship or something like that, then perhaps people are going to look at people have been looking at my application and just throwing it away because I haven't had a position for that long. I have no idea, but if somebody can give me some insight on that, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.